that it was a very, very clever mechanism on how to self-sabotage yourself, and self-sabotage is always beneficial for you somehow. Why? Because it keeps you feeling good. It keeps you feeling safe. Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today, I dare you to not have balance. I've tried to put in balance in everything that I did. I tried to divide it fairly so that every action, every activity, every of my goal had the same balance, like had the same proportion of my attention. And if we think about it, like what we put our attention to, so if we have only 100% of our attention and we divide it into 5 different, let's say, fields that we want to do, the whole the all the fields will grow only by 20%. It sounds very logical when I talk about it right now, but I know that in the moment when you're in the short term view and you have 5 in your mind very important tasks or very important areas that you want to contribute to every day, ideally, that is going to just set you up for failure, as it did with me, or until I realized exactly this. And also, I want to discuss the fact that this balance could be actually escapism. Because if it grows only by 20%, everything, and growth means disruption. Growth means that you're gonna feel very uncomfortable. If your business grows exponentially, it feels freaking uncomfortable. It feels like you're not safe, because your brain literally feels that you're not safe. Your brain is literally outside of your comfort zone. That means that there is a freaking tiger going to eat you. That's not happening anymore. The evolution, though, is still the same. And so that's why we're going to talk about that too. But first, I want to tell you, like, when I discovered this and when I had the most significant experience that led me to realize this. And this was when I had to balance my university, my music. I really wanted to publish my first song and, dance, then other venues like my friends, family, and stuff like that. And so let's say we had like 4 of fields that I wanted to balance out. And when you have like so many tasks, I don't know if you're similar, if someone like will understand, but I used to have so many little goals. I used to have this idea of, oh my God, I'm gonna have so much goals and I'm gonna be like a machine. I'm gonna do it all. I'm going to put, if you saw my calendar, it was ill. It was really sick, and not in the good way. I would be having planned out literally everything, like everything. From the point I wake up, 10-minute meditation, I would record it there. Then I would have like journaling. Then I would have coffee. I would even freaking put a section of coffee into my calendar. And then I would have, I don't know, my university or something and some classes, and then I would have lunch, blah, blah, blah. And I would literally plan out every Sunday, I would plan out the week ahead. It might sound amazing, but as I tried to put my attention into, like 4 different venues every day, my brain just became super fractured. And to me, this state felt super comfortable because you never really go into depth. Like, of course, if you have classes, you just have classes and you're done. But if that comes from your own proactivity, if that comes from your own initiation, for example, me finishing the music, finishing my first song and actually publishing it, like before I realized that, I would be still on this hamster wheel and I would go nowhere. I would always just look at another week and I would be like, damn, I did only like, I don't know, I did just a little bit of mastering, or I've edit only, you know, two layers in that song, or I've written only this verse. And I know that it could sound like I was criticizing myself, but retrospectively, I see why it was like this. Because I did set myself up for a failure, because I didn't prioritize. If you are not having one most important thing in your life that will get the disproportionate amount of your attention because you actually want to move the needle, you will not move anywhere. And this is exactly what I needed to understand within my whole journey of starting something and finishing it, actually. Because if I would not realize this, and if I would not, at least for like 1 month, put the music as a freaking priority, I would be still sitting here and I would not have the song published. And because it was disproportionate. And yes, I didn't pay so much attention to my university. And yes, I didn't pay so much attention maybe to my friends and to my family. But the song got finished and published. And this would not happen. And also I gotta say, it was super uncomfortable. And I think I subconsciously knew this, that it's gonna be very uncomfortable and that it's not gonna feel good when you're going to, you know, prepare the song for publishing, because I did it and it feels very vulnerable and it was all my idea. And what if people hate it, right? So it's easier. And I believe that somehow the brain subconsciously can sabotage you like that by purposefully dividing your attention into various venues so that you don't really grow in none of them, and so that you keep yourself in comfort. And there is actually some studies confirming that your brain is built for prioritizing, is built to understand, okay, is built for order. It's built to understand that, okay, this is the most important thing, then goes the second one, and then goes the blah, 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 blah. And if we don't prioritize, we're never going to really move anywhere, because we will always gonna go there and then come back because we just think about another thing that we want to do. And recently this also happened to me. I got another idea that I just need to put aside right now. And then I got another idea and I had to ditch that away. It's really about saying no to other people, to other stuff, to, like, imagine relationship. Like, how would, and you're literally like, if you really are willing to build something that will help other people, that you have good intentions with, like, I don't know, a business or a tool or website or a building or a family. Like, imagine how that would look like if you were not committed and literally devoted to one person. We're talking just like in general, okay? So you have one person in life that you would love, but imagine that you would kind of love them, but then there would be another person, then there would be another person. Where would you go? Like, how do you expect yourself to build a family that is stable if you yourself are just super distracted by everything else? So I have like three questions that I want to read to you. You can write them down, and after this video you can just answer them. I don't want us to be super caught up in the self-analysis only. It's super important and it's crucial to combine it, to do some self-analysis, but then right after, just take the action. It's that's how it works, or you can do the opposite. You can take the action and then you can analyze it. But like ultimately, then you're gonna create this cycle. So it's gonna be like a perpetual, and then it's gonna feed each other. The theory will feed the practice, basically. And so it doesn't matter what you're going to start with. If you're going to start with the questions, if you're going to start with your action, but just do something. And that's what I needed to do as well. I needed to realize that, okay, in my case, maybe the only reason why I'm not, progressing in very much like neither of my goals that I was so excited about is just the fact that it's super fractured. My attention is super fractured. But with me it was even deeper, and maybe with you now you'll realize that, oh, maybe this is also the deeper reason, and that's good. That's where we want to get into depth, into the not the tip of the iceberg, but really underneath. And that is that it was a very, very clever mechanism on how to self sabotage yourself. And self sabotage is always beneficial for you somehow. Why? Because it keeps you feeling good, it keeps you feeling safe. And the brain will do anything so that you're safe, so that you feel good, and that there is no danger around, because that would mean death for an average, you know, person 10,000 years ago. Yeah. However, we're living today and also with other types of distraction. I mean, it's super important to prioritize. And so if you do have something right now that you would like to, you're thinking about one thing. So prioritize that. Prioritize the first thing that you were thinking about. Really. There's no there's no coincidence that you have started to think about this one thing that you're thinking. So I really recommend you to prioritize that thing, even though it might not feel very logical right now. But if you need some more journaling, and these three questions really helped me a lot, you can do that. You can write them down. The first question is, what is getting most of my energy right now? This will make you a little analytical. This will make you realize and compare what you're talking about versus what you're actually doing. And just really be honest with yourself. If honestly, if most of your attention is getting some, I don't know, like person on Instagram that you're really just obsessed with them, but you're on the other hand saying that you're gonna be very successful business owner, it's not, there is no alignment. And that's amazing that you have actually realized that, because if you haven't realized that, a few months from now would not change at all. And you're always moving somewhere. You're either moving towards your goal or you're moving away from it. And so by this point at least, it's better to hear the hard truth than to hear sweet lies and just fall down from the cliff because someone told you that you don't have to look because there is the bridge, but there is no freaking bridge. The first thing is to analyze, do my actions match my words? Yes? Perfect. No? Okay. We have a information. I want, I want. I really recommend you, or what I did is to again switch off my emotional side and switch on the side of a researcher. Like, is this matching? Yes. Is this matching? No. All right, good. Let's go. Let's go to another step. The second step is second question. Did I consciously choose that, or did I drift into it because of something negative? Should it be fear? Should it be expectation of myself or of other people around? Should it be avoidance? Are you avoiding something? Are you scared of something? Yeah, it's combined with the fear as well. Are you scared of success? Are you scared of failure? Are you scared of rejection? Or is it just a habit? Because habit is one of the most complex mechanisms that when you put a habit in your mind, in your body, and you live it, it becomes you. And so then you need to force it a little bit, at least in the beginning, to to find it, to find this limiting habit, to find a substitution for it that is more productive, and then to practice that substitution and to replace the limiting habit with the substitution that is more productive. But that means literally creating a little different identity within yourself. And so that's why also self analysis and journaling and affirmations, meditations, these are all tools that will soften your identity. And it will, let's say, it will make you more open and more receptive. It will let you to receive and to incorporate more practical habits into your life that will actually move you. And the beautiful thing is that once you create this habit, it's gonna be again very internalized. It's gonna be like autopilot. If you're not really thinking consciously, you're still doing it. For example, waking up, meditating, automatic. Waking up, meditating, then combining it with another or adding another habit that's journaling. Okay, so it's waking up, meditating, journaling. Done. Not a day without it. And that's the most beautiful and the most cool thing that I find on creating habits is that if you don't do the habit, you feel actually worse. So it takes a huge amount of effort. It's like if a plane is taking off, it's a huge amount of fuel burned per second. It's a huge amount of energy that has to be put into this. But once you're up there, autopilot. I might be digressing, but this is connected with it. And so that's connected with the habit, basically. That's all connected. This whole thing is connected to the second question. I'm going to repeat it because I've been talking about it for like 3 minutes already. And that's, did I consciously choose what I'm currently the most focused on? Did I choose that? Like, did I choose that I'm going to be focused on this person on Instagram because I'm just so obsessed with their lifestyle? Did I actually choose that? Or was I drifting? Was I drifting from something? Is it escapism? Did I drift there because of fear, because of I want to avoid something, because of the habit? Maybe after a meal, you always pick a phone and you just start to scroll. Maybe. But become aware of that. Self awareness here, that's the most important beginning step. And so once you answer on the second question, you got a third one and the last one. And that also needs like a huge amount of honesty, and you might feel guilty also if you're not where you really want to be. You might feel guilty by answering it, but feel the guilt and continue answering, otherwise nothing will change. And the third is, if I continue living this way for another 6 months, do I like where it takes me? Do I like where watching and scrolling 2 hours per day, do I like where this takes me? Or do I feel disgusted by it? Do I feel that I'm just still keeping this safism and I'm even not conscious about it? So, at least right now, by this video, I believe that by these three questions, or just by clicking on this video and listening to me, you are, or hearing this, you're more aware of the fact that this could be happening. If you had certain ideals in your mind and it's not, in your reality yet, it will be there. But you just need to become aware of all the patterns that are stopping you from touching that potential, because what you have in your mind, that's the potential. And the potential itself, it invites you for the good habits. It invites you to ditch away any habit that is just no longer serving you. It is inviting you to become the person that you see in that mind. Like, it's possible. It's 100% freaking possible if you really get honest with yourself, and if you keep yourself reminded daily, why are you here? And what is actually the goal? And be very persistent and compassionate about yourself. I know that it's not easy. It's way easier to criticize yourself because it also might feel like you're the serious person, or I don't know, like that's what I usually would feel, that if I criticized, I would be seen as more serious, as more respected. That's bullshit. So, really, just compassion is much bigger sign of strength, and vulnerability is much bigger sign of strength than being critical. So that's also just a reminder, for maybe perfectionists. And yeah, so these three questions, if you answer them, you will get a you will get yourself a analysis of this current moment. The next thing that you want to do is to write down all the things that are in your mind, what you have to do, from reaching a certain amount of money per or a certain amount of earnings per month, from maybe proposing to your girlfriend, from the big stuff, to little tiny stuff like fix that drawer that is a little bit tilted and it's like this for already like 6 months, so you want to fix it finally, or calling to your dentist for an appointment. And then you want to prioritize that. But our emotional minds and brains are very rebellious, I would say. And you really want to keep them disciplined. And this happens when you just wake up and you remind yourself daily, why the hell are you here? And what are you here to do? Because then you are going to become the director of that life, not your fear, not your circumstances, not opinions, and not your conditioning from the whole social circle that you've been raised by. Because we've all have been raised by a certain social circle. They have conditioned us. And so we just want to become aware of that. And then you actually become more wise and more peaceful with that. Because then you're like, oh, I understand it. I understand why I'm this way. Okay, so let's just make a change. Because the more information you have, the wiser you are, and that makes you make better choices. So then you can do better choices in whatever the hell you want. And so you better choose the thing that really speaks from your true self. This is how alignment is created, or I would say is found. You have just removed all the layers that you were not, and you found finally the core that you are, and you choose that one thing that you want to do. And then you just, for at least like 6 months, you say no to everything else, and you keep yourself reminded, why did you actually choose this? Because sometimes it's gonna suck, and you really want to, as I said, the brain is rebellious. So you might want to, let loose a little. But if you do, then you're again being distracted. And I don't want to put any pressure on this. So if you do get distracted, it's okay, because we're human beings, we're not machines. We're not machines, as I thought that I am going to be a machine. We're not, and that's okay. But then that's where the compassion is going to show up. And it's super important to be like, okay, I don't know, I have let myself go a little bit for 1 week, for a few days. It's okay. But I know still, I see it. I see what I did. I understand myself. So let's just get back to the one priority that I have. And it's okay, because maybe you never know. Maybe this one week that you haven't been working like a freaking mm, horse, maybe that will give you something that you wouldn't normally get. Maybe that will give you some inspiration. Maybe that will give you the break you needed to freaking accelerate 10 times more. You never really know. So trust the process, but prioritize, pick one thing, keep reminded yourself why you're here, and then you will see how straightforward the progress is. I might also make another video on when you make the progress, because that's also very uncomfortable and you might want to back up subconsciously, but that would be too long for this video. So I'm just gonna leave it there. If you have any other questions or any comments or any of your own, experiences, I'd be very happy to discuss that with you. If you want to discuss that, you know, in face to face, or let's say FaceTime to FaceTime, you can book a call with me as well. Now I'm also starting a weekly letters. It's not gonna be like a huge reading for 10 minutes. It's just gonna be like 3 minutes each week. And I'm gonna give you some tips for journaling, some neuroscientific facts that will make you also understand more to yourself, and therefore will make you ready for making better choices, and therefore will make you touch your potential in a less time or in the best time possible. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that I made my point, and I hope that this helped at least one person to maybe realize something, to become more aware of their current actions, and that will just help them to become better and feel better. So I hope that's you. If not, maybe we're gonna try another video. We'll see. Stay awesome. Bye.